Before I begin this video, I would like to say let's take a moment of silence to pray for the Parkland victims' family. All right. So, early this morning, I came across a bunch of videos of the Parkland um, victims and how the justice system down in Florida had failed them miserably. The dude got life in prison without the possibility of no parole. And I would like to tell all the families down there, because I got family in Florida too, my condolence. And I'm sorry that the system failed you guys miserably. It's a tragically story. You can hear it in the families' voices how the system failed them. I heard the anger, the upsetting, the frustration, the aggravations of how the families are upset with the justice system. We as a nation should be protecting our kids. I'm a father myself. I got two kids, two daughters. We as a nation should not have to worry about sending our kids to school thinking that they will be safe. From what I heard and saw on the news, if I was a judge, I would have told those jurors to go back into that room and come up with a better solution. I would tell those jurors, we will come back another time, another day, till you give me, and no, not give me, you want to give the courtroom a better outcome. Sunshine State, are you serious right now? All because of one juror. They should be mad at that one juror. They should be mad at that judge. Both females, they should be mad at. Because there's a female juror and a female judge. They should be mad at both of them females. They're both, I'm sure, like the judge, she has kids. I'm sure that juror has kids. You guys live in a death penalty state. What on God's planet gives that? Well, I'm not a juror, so maybe she didn't feel as though he didn't deserve the death penalty. Okay, so the next school shooting down in Florida, you guys gonna say, oh, well, he doesn't deserve the death penalty. But the justice system screwed over those victims. Oh, those victims are pissed. They're upset. um, they're m- m- more more pissed than upset. It's like they were hoping to get the death penalty, but they got lied to their face. They got lied to their face so badly that it's like closing the doors in their faces and saying that your kids, your loved ones that got slaughtered, 17 people, 17 teenagers lost their lives very shortly on this planet. And your lives and your kids' lives don't mean jack. That's what the Florida juror said. That's what the female judge said. She should have been ashamed of herself for being a judge. She knows damn well that those people lost their kids. Those people will never see and hold their loved ones. Will never see their kids graduate, never see their kids get married, never see their kids go off to college, never have grandkids, so on and so forth. Why did that juror have compassion for the killer? 17 students lost their lives tragically because of one juror didn't feel as though the death penalty was not acceptable. I'm sorry for swearing. That motherfucker had some issues at home. We all go through a lot of things in life. We all have issues. We all been through so much. We all been down that road. Some worse than others, but that motherfucker had family problems. Like, you're not the only one on the globe that has family problems. We all been down that road. We all talk to our parents. We all talk to the schools, friends, counselors at the school. Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm going to show you a shirt that I actually have. I got like two shirts, one for my daughter and one for me. Sorry for saying it, showing you guys it backwards, but it says National Day of Actions Against Gun Violence in Schools. When is it going to be enough? Enough is enough. Yeah, people have every right to own firearms. But you know that your child is unstable, remove the firearms from your house. Yeah, you have every right to defend your house, you defend your property, so on and so forth. But you have a child who is so unstable, you put that motherfucker um in a place where he or she could get mental health. He or she could be on medication, be involved in your kids' lives. If something, I know it's hard to, because I know it's hard because every household is different. That motherfucker, at the age of 13, I saw it on the news just now. At the age of 13, that motherfucker had some family problems. Are you serious right now? From 13 to all the way up to like high school. Took an assault rifle, high-powered assault rifle. I don't know they didn't say what type of assault rifle, but I was just only mostly concerning about how angry and how pissed, how upsetting, how the justice system railroaded the victims and their families. All the family. Everybody came together as one. And they all came together as one to hoping that they will get to see this person, this murderer, get the death penalty. That was on the table. That's in Florida. Are you serious right now in Florida? Even your governor, DeSantis, he was upset. He was disappointed. But you, Governor DeSantis, yeah, you should have had fired that judge and put on and replaced that judge, fired her, and put in a real judge that would have compassion, sympathy for the victims. Oh, not to say, oh, well, because of one juror, we're not going to give the death penalty. What? Are you serious? Governor DeSantis, you should have just said, you know what? I'm going to write a letter. I know you said in your news conference that you had reached out and talked to the victims' families. The families of the victims, should I say? Sorry about that. You should have been telling the families that I'm going to replace the judge. I'm going to do the power of my will to have all your guys' case go back to the court and find a judge who's going to have compassion, who's going to have sympathy for you guys. You guys deserve justice. Your kids deserve justice. We live in a state where we have the death penalty. We will get justice for you, for the whole family. I'm going to do the power of my will, even have to move mountains, to get justice for all the families. That's what you should have had said in your news conference. That's what you should have said. You as a father, as a parent, as a person who watched what was going on in that courtroom. You live in the state of Florida that you let a murderer get away. Basically, what I'm just going to say, murder, technically, get life in prison without the possibility of no parole. He gets to live, gets to watch TV, whatever he does. He gets to walk around and breathe the fresh air. Hey, yo, juror, yeah, I'm calling you out. Yeah, I'm calling you out. How do you go to bed at night? Yeah, I'm calling you out on this. I'm calling out that female juror. How do you go to bed at night? How do you go to look at your kids at night? Knowing that you gave a murderer life without the possibility of no parole. How do you go to bed at night? How in the fuck do you lay down in your nice, cozy bed knowing that you gave that killer life without possibility of no parole? How do you live with yourself? How do you live, and sleep at night, you should never, ever resurface. You should just pack your shit and just move out of the state of Florida. Um, you should, like, literally, and I mean literally, never return to that state. You should live in a cave. You should go find a cave somewhere in the United States and just live there permanently. I hope they, like, I hope one day, maybe this year, maybe next year, that one of the jurors will just post your name out there saying, this is her and this is what she has recommended. One juror. So that means that tells, like, society that you, as a big juror, all you jurors, didn't override one juror? Are you serious? Oh, I feel compassion. He had a troubled life. Um, yeah. Um, we're not going with that idea. We're not going with a non-guilty plea about the death penalty. So we here in this room all voted for the death penalty. That is your opinion. Everybody has every right to their opinion. But you're living in a fucking state of Florida. It's not like any other state. Every state has their different rules and different laws. Some have, like, the death penalty. Some have, like, life without. But you're living in Florida, where there is the death penalty. But one juror, she goes, oh, I feel so sorry for him. He has trouble at home at the age of 13. Yeah, we all had troubles at home. We all are not perfect. We all didn't go to school with a high-powered rifle and shoot up schools. This is why I was telling my roommate that I miss the 80s. 80s and 90s, but mostly I miss the 80s. 80s was a totally different era. Did we have problems in school with each other? Yes, we did. But there was no one didn't bring any guns to school. But we fought it in school, get suspended, go to detention. You sit there in the same classroom with a bunch of other students and you just do your homework. And you go home in your separate ways. That was it. And you go right back into the classroom in your different classes, and that was it. Call it a day. That's how the 80s was. There was no gun violence. There was no mass school shootings. There was just people with education going to school, becoming somebody in school. I know I'm going to veer off, but I'm going to make another video, and it's going to be the same. It's going to be topics about education. But now we're going to talk about the mass school shootings across the United States. We're going to talk about Florida right now. My home state. You guys disappointed me. That judge, she should have been barred. Get her off. Get rid of her. Fire her. She should resign. She should not be a judge. DeSantis, Governor DeSantis, do your job. Have compassion for the victims, the family victims. Have compassion and sympathy for those parents that lost their kids. They're not going to see their kids get married. They're not going to see their kids go off to college, go to work. You get to see that. That judge get to see that. That juror, she gets to see that. But not 17 family members will see their kids. 17 victims got killed, will never get to walk down the aisle, never get married, never have a future. Their future was taken quick, like a snap. But I'm calling you out, Judge. I think you should resign. I think that you should be removed from the bench permanently. Let a real judge go in there and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back and I'm going to have sympathy for you, for those victims' families and the victims and all those parents out there. I'm going to have sympathy for you. I want the same jurors, except for that one juror. She will no longer be on jury duty. She should live in a cave. I would tell the jurors that, listen, if you don't like what I'm about to say, excuse yourself from the jury pool. These families have lost their loved ones, their kids. These families have lost their kids due to a murderer, a school shooting. 17 kids have lost their lives. If you cannot handle the news media, you cannot handle this situation, remove yourself. I want a strong juror who's going to go in there and do what's right for the family. I don't want to hear about sympathy for the murderer. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that he had a troubled life. I don't want to hear that. This is not about him. This is about getting justice for the families of those kids. Those families of those kids deserve justice. They need justice with a passion. Have sympathy for these families. You guys are all parents, and you all have teenage kids who go to school. Have passion for these families. Have passion for them. They deserve justice, and their kids deserve justice. But nope, that never happened. Not one fucking bit. I'm calling you out, Judge, and that juror. Calling you out, Judge. You should know damn well, like you as a mother, I'm sure you are a mother or a parent. I'm sure you got kids. How do you go to bed at night? How do you sleep? Knowing that you failed those family members. You and that juror, both of you females, slap those family members in the face. Oh, wow. he deserved life without. Hell, you might as well just let him walk fucking free. You might as well just say, hey, you know what? Why don't you just go home? Why don't you just get out of that jumpsuit, put on your street clothes? Hey, there's the door. Why don't you just get up and just walk out the door? Why don't you enjoy your life on this planet? You could breathe the fresh air. You can actually walk down the aisle. Hopefully you'll get married, have kids. Excuse me. That's what you're actually fucking saying to the fucking families. You judge, that's what you're just saying. You jury, that's what you're just saying. You are basically telling those family members that, hey, there's a door. Oh, unhandcuffed him. I'll take those shackles off. He's going home. I'm going to find a not guilty plea. Let him go home. Let him go back to his troubled life. That's what you're fucking saying. That is what you're saying to the victim. You're saying to the family members of those victims. You, juror, should be a damn shame. You, judge, you should be a damn shame yourself sitting up on that bench. Oh, yeah, by the way, there was a juror, I also caught this on the news too, that there was a juror we're trying to get, it was a black juror. He was trying to get the judge attention. Yeah, it's a bailiff. It's a true fact. It was on the news. They didn't show that part. Maybe whatever the juror was trying to reach out to the judge, well, you guys will never know. We will all never know what he wanted to say to the judge. But it was saying, they said that the juror wanted to get the judge, wanted to talk to the judge. They were speculating that he was going to probably put money in his parking space in the meter. Who knows? We don't know. We'll never know the answer. But that judge, oh yeah, there's more. That female judge sat there and said, no. Oh, all of a sudden she's like, well, he wanted to get my attention. Maybe there's a reason. And you sat there and ignored it. So that tells those family members, if you can ignore one black juror, whatever he wanted to tell you or what he wanted to say, we will never get the answer. That's the same thing that you and that other female juror ignored. Hell, you might as well just say, hey, there's the door. Go on home. Go back to your troubled life. Bad boy, don't do it again. That's what you fucking just saying. You're just telling and the family of those victims and the families of the victims that, oh, bad boy, don't do it again. You just slapped that kid on their fucking wrist. And you're just saying that. Both you and that juror should never well, obviously, you already showed your face. You should go live in a cave with that juror. Seriously, just go live in a cave. You're better off with that juror living in a cave. You don't get no food. Actually, well, obviously, you have to go hunting somewhere. But you guys should just living in a cave. You should go live with that juror in a cave. Well, obviously, since your face is already all over all the news channels down in Florida and from down south as well too. But what happened? Even your governor DeSantis, he was pissed off at you and the whole DOJ, Department of Justice, that why did it take so long? Back in the 90s and the 80s, things were different. Every part of the United States, I'm sure every state was different. But we're talking about getting up in the morning, waking your kid up, making them breakfast, making sure they go to school safe, making sure that they get on the bus safe, their friends pick them up, or you carpool them, you bring them to school, you drop them off. You do the best you can by raising your kids. You help them with their homework. Hey, sporting events. Hey, go out back, play some football, teach them how to play sports, get in their lives. I know a lot of teenagers probably don't want you guys to be in their lives, but things that going on in school, you want to be there to help them out to grow. When they were a small little tree, now they want to become a big tree so they can grow and have a better future. Things will be safe for them when they walk into that classroom, walking through that school building, eating lunch with their friends, so on and so forth. We all been down that road. We all been there. We're not all perfect, but we all been there. We all had some type of problems in school. We all went through that. If it has to do with bullying, we talk to our parents. We talk to the resource center. I mean, not the resource center. I'm sorry. Well, you guys know what I mean. The resource teacher, the guidance counselor teacher. Excuse me. Our parents reached out and talked to the principal, the vice principal, the teachers, and everything. All our parents went to those school board meetings, and they had a voice for us. Now, let's fast forward. Teenagers, kids who do get bullied at school. It happens. They don't say anything. They don't want to tell their parents. They don't want to go tell their friends. If they do, this is what's going to happen to them at school. We need to prevent and stop school bullying. You parents, if your kid or your teenager comes home from school, he or she or them are being bullied at school, go up to them and say, hey, what's wrong? If they don't say anything, let them. Give them time. Give them just a little bit of time. But don't lay on it and don't sleep on it. Because if you do sleep on it, and when you do lay on it and you forget about it, you didn't resolve that issue. There's a window. Let's show it like this. This is a long window. And you see? Yeah, this is a long window. Right here. This is a window. So every time when that window gets closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and closer, because of you laid on it. Because of you slept on it. Because of you, this is what happened. Yeah, just like those families that was in the courtroom with their son, the one that shot up and killed some at another school shooting. That judge, now that's a real fucking judge. That judge arrested both mom and dad. They're sitting in jail. They're getting ready to go to prison. Oh, I think they are in prison. I don't know. No one heard anything about that case. But they were responsible for all those teenagers, all those kids' lives. They ruined family members. Okay. Here's another thing. Back to Parkland. Yeah, that kid had a troubled life. But we all been down that road. We're not all perfect. We're not perfect. We all had trouble in school. We all been bullied. But don't make us go out and get revenge. Go back the next day and get revenge and shoot up a school. You know, the thing is, like, I was talking to my roommate about how the legislators, they were looking at how in their 90s about violence. Where did it all come from? You know what our government had said in the 90s? They were blaming it on movies, video games, and music. 3 different things. Mostly, it was video games and music. But the number one issue was video games. I was in the 90s. Oh yeah, certain cartoons promoted violence. It's a cartoon. It was music. Movies. It's a video game. So they did they had a psychologist. True story. And they said, that psychologist said, because of the way that he had acted, because of a video game. You know what that game was? Doom. Grand Theft Auto. Doom, they actually took that game off the market. I remember that story so well. It was like yesterday. Because I remember this girl, she went in front of Congress. And this blonde girl, went in front of like Congress and said, like, um, this would have never happened if he didn't play the game Doom. So they pulled the game off the shelves. And then one day, we're going to pull Grand Theft Auto. You know, like, it was um, very, I'm sure it's very hard to make a non-violent game. So they came up with Nintendo. Nintendo was going to be the gaming system for non-violent games. Excuse me. They had some violent games, but not a lot. But we all played Nintendo. We all played those games. We all played different types of games on different consoles. Fast forward, we're all gamers. We all play video games. We're all gamers. We're not perfect. We do make mistakes. We all have to learn from our mistakes. Gamers, we try. But I don't mean to send our kids to school and they're going to we're sending our kids to school, and if they have problems at school, we're going to get in their lives. We're going to sit down and disengage ourselves from the virtual world and come back to the reality. And sit down. This is why you parents need to step up, get into your kids' lives. Don't ignore the problem. If your kid comes home from school, he or she or them or both come home from school and one of them's all happy and the other one's all miserable, just say, hey, what's going on? See you walking through the door. Kid goes, I don't want to talk about it. Give them space. When they're ready to talk about it, you go upstairs. Because sometimes they don't want to say anything. But then again, while you ignore the problem, you and your husband laying in that bed, you're laying right next to your husband, and he's laying right next to you. You're both laying right next to each other, and you're like, something's going on with little Johnny. He's probably, got a lot of stuff on his mind. How about before we go to work, we go talk to him? Why wait the next day? That's what you guys do. Why would you wait till the next day? Like, why don't we just go in his room or her room, knock on the door, let's talk. Both of you parties should get up off your ass, go into that room, talk to that fucker, and say, hey, what's going on at school? That kid might come around. It's like, I don't want to talk about it. Come on. Because when you're pressuring that kid, you're actually going to get the answers that you're going to need. And you'll go down to that school with that kid. You're going to be the voice for that kid. You will save all those kids' lives. If you don't help your own child, your own flesh and blood, your own seed, you have a mass murderer in the next room plotting things. You don't know it. The kids don't know it. The whole school system don't know it. But you chose to ignore your own flesh and blood that you brought into this world. How sad is that? And I don't want to hear no excuses down in the comments. Oh, we talked to our kid. Our kid doesn't want to come forward. Does it happen? Yes, it does. But don't ignore it. Don't ignore the situation. Because you could prevent all that situation. Just like no one knew. All those innocent kids, innocent teachers going to a school. You didn't know. None of those kids didn't know. None of those teachers. Somehow they did their history and found out this motherfucker at the age of 13 had issues. Whoa, one of the fathers, he said that at the age of 13, this motherfucker was terrorizing kids in his school. He was terrorizing the neighborhood. He was just a bad apple, basically. This motherfucker was a bad fucking apple. But the school failed him. His parents failed him. You're gonna bring that bad apple around a bunch of good apples? And you're gonna let that apple terrorize the other apples? Yeah, one bad apple. How disgraceful and how disgusting. The laws have just slapped the families in the face. Florida, you're in my state. I was born there. I grew up there. I got family in your state. You disappointed me, Florida. You're making me look bad. I love my state. I love my home state. A lot of rules have changed down there. Everywhere you go, there's going to be a new rule, a new game, and the game's never going to be the same. I get it. There's always going to be some type of new game out there. There's always going to be some type of new rule that you have to follow, and there's all type of penalties you're going to have to go through, and it's called laws. Those families, those 17 family members will never, ever will have holidays without their loved ones next to them. Holidays ain't going to be the same. You judge, you get to go home to your husband. You get to go home to your kids. If you have kids, you get to go home to your husband. I don't know if you're a mother. I don't know if you're a parent. I don't give a fuck. All I know is that you get to spend time with your family. These people can't. Same thing goes with you too, juror. You get to go home to your whoever, your family, your husband, your kids. You get to go home and spend time with them. You get to embrace them. You get to spend holidays with them. These people don't. How do you go to fucking bed at night? How in the fuck can you wake up the next day and enjoy life? How? You and that judge should live in a cave permanently. I'm a parent. I have empathy for those families. When I sat there and watched these videos, it just boils my heart. It hardened my heart because these families did not get justice. They were told that like he was going to get the death penalty. That never happened. That never happened. That was just a slap in the face. Like I said, bad boy. Don't do it again. Unhandcuffed him, let him go walk out the door. Door's right there. Just let him go. He's free to go. He get to live another day. He get to enjoy the fresh air. That's what you two females are saying. You're saying, hey, it was a mistake. Don't do it again. We'll put you in a mental health. We'll let you seek mental health. Put you in some state hospital. When you get better, we'll put you back in society. Hell, you might as well just give him fucking probation. Give him like a 10-year probation. You might as well just say that. But you can't. Because you fail. Both females failed those families. The judge, she failed those families. The juror, she failed those families. A real juror, all those jurors, a real judge would agree on the death penalty. And I won't be making this long video, but I have to because it's upsetting. It's upsetting to me because it's my state. It's upsetting to me because I'm hearing the anger, the frustration, the hatred of what these parents are going through. I'm a parent. I will never, ever, in my right state of mind, will want somebody to live and get life without. Oh, hell no. No. You know what? I think that all those families, I know it's sad, and my condolence goes towards all those, to the families of Parkland. All 17 of you guys, my heart goes out towards you. And I actually have sympathy. If I was a judge, I would have been like, juror number 1, and I would put you on camera, and I would say, juror number 1, why do you not want the death penalty? Go back into that room, and I want a better answer. I'm a parent. You're not going to sit up there and say, life without. I'm not hearing that. Go back into that room. Go back to the drawing board and come with a better solution. I don't want to hear no parole. I don't want to hear no probation. I don't want to hear life without. Go back into that room. I don't want to hear any of that. Come back with and give me a good answer. These family members deserve to have an answer. I don't want to hear, I had compassion. If you have compassion, excuse yourself. I'll find a real juror to replace you. These are these families that lost their kids. They'll never see their kids ever again. Go back to that room. That would have been me as a judge. You might as well just say, give him the daughter to freedom. You know, we as parents want to see our kids grow up, have a future. We want to see our kids exceed in life. We as parents should use the tools that we have and pass the tools to them to grow up, to nourish in life so they can have a better life. We want to see our kids have a job, an education, a future. I am sorry. I am deeply sorry. And my condolence goes towards the Parkland families. My condolence to all those families. To those teachers. The holidays is not going to be the same with these families, these 17 families that lost their loved ones. The holidays are not going to be the same. It's hard for them. No decorations. Can't go into their kids' room. I'm taking this very emotional because I'm a parent. And I can imagine let me say that, let me phrase that. I cannot imagine going into my kid's room and not seeing them there. I cannot imagine not having them at the dinner table, laughing, having a great time, joking and talking and smiling, just looking at them. Cannot imagine that table. It's not going to be the same. That table is going to have that one spot. It's not fair. I take this with a passion because I'm calling you out, you fucking bitch, as a fucking judge, you fucking juror. You know who the fuck you are. All because of you couldn't agree on with everybody else. You're a fucking disgrace. You as a judge, you should be ashamed of your fucking self. I have compassion in my heart because I'm a fucking parent. And I cannot imagine not having my child at that table. At that holiday table. Holding my child. I cannot imagine not holding my child. Telling my child, hey, got something for you. I cannot imagine putting your hand on that door and putting your hand on that doorknob, and you know your child's not there. But in your mind, in your heart, your child is there. Cannot imagine. It's a damn shame how those families got slapped in the face, got punched in the gut. I cannot imagine not having my child there for the holidays, birthdays. I cannot imagine hearing my child's footsteps coming down the stairs. Joking, having a conversation. I cannot imagine a missing person at my table for the holidays, for the birthdays, all kinds of different events, buying clothes for my child. I cannot imagine what those family members are going through. All those parents are what they're going through within this year. I cannot imagine. I can't. I cannot imagine. All I gotta say is, it ain't gonna be the same. It's not. It's not gonna be the same. We the school system needs to do better across the United States. The school systems, and also you students as well, don't sit on the sidelines. You see something, you say something. If you see one of your peers who's going through a lot, say something. Help that person out. Don't ignore the situation. I remember there was a time, true statement, whereas parents, strong fucking parents, came together, went to school, went to those school boards meetings to eliminate bullying. Fast forward, we got technology. Bullying through computers and through cell phones, aka computer. You know what the sad thing is? I remember I was watching YouTube, and this parent actually said something that makes actually damn fucking sense. You see a kid, one of your peers, get beat up, don't record it. That's what the parent said. Don't record it. You're actually going to prevent that fight. That was the parent said. She said that. Don't record. Go in and help that person out. Now there's a flip side to that story. You're actually going to jump in and you're going to save that person's life. But you don't know what the other person might have. You don't know if that person have a gun. You don't know if the other person have a knife. So you don't know. That's the other flip side of the coin. And that all could lead to death. Where were... I know every school across the United States, I'm sure they have like security guards. Where were these security guards? The school boards and the school administrations, they have law enforcement that could go in and defuse the situation that are there with those students. What happened? What exactly had happened? I know, excuse me, that in my state, I know that um, there's one school that got rebuilt from the ground up. That's going to have a police officer there, and you're going to have metal detectors and cameras inside the school, out in the hallways, um, which is good. It's a brand new high school. And it's going to be all technology. It will prevent school shootings. Now, students there at this school better step up. Hear anything? Say something. Because you're saving everybody else's life. Everybody's life. You're saving not only your life, but you're saving everybody else's lives. Don't sit there and ignore the situation. Don't. Say something. Don't sit on those sidelines. I needed to get that off my chest because it was bothering me. And I'm going to be making another video of Bernie State, Vermont. Yeah, that's going to be another topic. But this one is the most important to me. The other one is, but I just want to make this one out because I have to go back and I had to go back and do some research before I make another video of Bernie State, Vermont. Yeah, there's some shit that's going on in Vermont too. So I have to go and find a video, and I'm going to show you 2 different videos. They might not be the same, but or the same, I don't know. But I have to go back if I make a video of Bernie State. Oh yeah. This video it drew a lot of attention. I think you guys know what I mean. It has to do, I know I'm getting sidetracked, but this has to do with a girls' volleyball team. Whereas in all my videos, I always say I don't have a problem with the alphabet people. There's one of your alphabets had said some things to one of the volleyball girls in the locker room. And it was inappropriately. So I'm going to get back into what I was discussing, talked about. I am very disappointed. I will back up those family members. And if you're watching this video, my condolence to you families out there that lost your loved ones. And if the other ones, I am sorry. My condolences as well as to you. And I'm also going to be making, speaking of lives, I'm going to make I got to make a video. Oh, man, I was talking to my roommate about this one, about BLM. Yeah, so I guess Candace Owens had exposed BLM. Well, sad. Very sad and very, very disappointed. Very disappointed. That's another issue. I'll make another video. I only seen clips and pieces of it from other people on their YouTube. But for me to watch the whole thing, I ain't dishing out money for an app just to watch a movie. They want so much money. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that. So if you have any links to The Greatest Lie Ever, it's a movie. Well, not a movie. It's a documentary, or not the documentary. I don't know what Candace Owens is doing, but it's just something that she did on her own to expose Black Lives Matter. So if you guys can help me out, leave a link down below and see if I can watch it for free, because I ain't dishing out no money for you to watch this I'll just call it a documentary about Black Lives Matter. How disappointed. Very disappointed. And the one in Vermont, I'll make a video of that. The Black Lives Matter movement, those two are important. But I need your guys' honest opinion about the one in Vermont. That one, wow, I wouldn't say mind blowing. I'm sorry. That's not a good word to say. It makes you think. Both topics and both videos, it makes you really, really, really think, especially in the Black community. I'll make it a video. And on that Black Lives Matter, the greatest lie ever. I only saw clips of it. It really makes you think of how the victims of police brutality never saw no money, never saw a dime, never saw any anything. But all I know that I seen on YouTube that they bought a mansion. Family members got paid mad money, bought properties. Oh yeah, it gets deep, very deep in the rabbit hole. And I'm talking deep as well. Like they forgot about the victims of these families of police brutality that lost loved ones. I'm sure you guys probably seen it. Like I said, I saw bits and pieces of it on people's YouTube channel because they paid the money to watch the video. Kid Rock was in it, Candace Owen, Conway West, and a lot of different people were in it too. But when I make that video, I just want to know. Don't answer this. This is to the black community. Let me make this video. After I get done making this video about Vermont, and then I want to know your honest opinion. I asked one of my friends this on PlayStation 4. One night we were hanging out, and this friend of mine, he's black, and I asked him one night, do you think we ever get along? And you know what he told me? No. It's a damn shame. It's another topic that I'll get into. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of black people. I'm not going to say black people no more. I don't know. A lot of brothers actually in the black community. There's a lot of us are not too very happy. A lot. Now with Vermont, there is a girls volleyball team, transgender. Like I said something inappropriately, but I saw more of the footage of this girl did an interview, and their newspaper deleted the article because they didn't want to get hit up with you know they don't want to get bad reviews, so they deleted it from the alphabet people. This is about protecting our kids. Once again, I have stated we need to protect our kids. This has gone way too far. This is something that needs to be addressed. These two girls came forward and said this is what's been going on, and the school thought they were lying. This is in Vermont. One girl Um, yeah, they were going to press charges against her because of what she had said about this person was in a female's locker room. I will find that video and I'll let you guys watch that video. But the other one I have to find, it's the same girl, but I have to find that video and I'll have to let you guys watch it as well. I'll let you guys see it. I remember when I was a kid coming up, there was um, just boys' bathroom and girls' bathroom, men's bathroom, women's bathroom. That was it. Boys couldn't go in the girls' bathroom. Girls couldn't go into the boys' bathroom. That was it. That was the rules. You go in, if a boy goes into the girls' bathroom, he's going to get suspended and he'll get in trouble. If a girl goes into the boys' bathroom, same thing would happen with her. She'll get in trouble, get suspended. That was in the 80s and that was in the 90s. Fast forward, things are changing. So, that'll be another video. I apologize. And I am deeply sorry for the families and the victims of that murderer that had got life in prison without the possibility of no parole. My condolence to the Parkland's families. My condolence as well as to the teachers. Guys should have done a better job. Oh, before I end this video, they knew this motherfucker was a troublemaker from the get. It's your boy, Wolfgang, 1305. Why in this video? Let's have a moment of prayer. My condolence to the Parkland families. My prayers are with you. And I will be praying for the Parkland families. Holidays. Like I said previously, holidays are not going to be the same. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. It's Wolfgang 1305 signing out. Be safe. See something, say something. Don't sit on the sidelines. Don't do that. Don't be that person. Say something. Help that person out. Holidays. It ain't going to be the same for those families. It won't. So people out there that got kids, I want you to embrace your kid. Tell them how much you love them. Be in their lives. Show them how much you love them and how much you care about them. There's something wrong with your fucking kid, you better tell him or her or them, come to me. We can talk. You as a parent, better say something. Better talk to your kids. Don't fucking sleep on it. You talk to your kid. When they come home from school and you know there's something wrong with your kid, you put your busy life aside, you go to that fucker's room and you better talk to that motherfucker. You better talk to that motherfucker. You better make sure you get all the answers you need. And you'll go down to that school with your kid or kids. You're going to talk to that school, talk to the teacher, the vice principal, and the superintendent. You're going to have that long meeting. This is very important. Look what happened down in Florida. That could all have been prevented. That school knew. School fucked up. All those kids. Where were the security guards? Sad. This ain't gonna be the same. Holidays, birthdays, footsteps. They ain't gonna get that back. They ain't gonna get that back. Sad. They're not gonna hear their kids laugh or see their future or their grandkids. Signing out. Like I said, my condolence to those families of the victims. It's your boy Wolfgang signing out. Please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment.